Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to another wonderful episode of The Perspectives. You're through to MogbedeRadioTv, and today we're looking at democracy and its benefits. In the studios with me today, I've got Chief Bode George, a prominent statesman from Nigeria, former governor, and has held several political posts and non-political posts as well. We warmly want to welcome him to our platform today, and it's a wonderful moment. I'm so glad that he was able to make it with us today. And in the studio with me today are beaters. I've got Mrs. Esther Shofela in the house. I've got Prince Polari Oshunisi in the house. We welcome you once again. This is Mogbede Radio TV. Today we'll be looking at democracy and its benefits. If you're looking at ways to join us, there's several ways you can connect with us today to listen in and to understand what democracy is and how we play it in Nigeria. To join us, you can join us on our website. Our website is www.radio.mogbede.uk. You can also join us on YouTube and Facebook Live. Our handle is Mogbede Radio TV. Search for our handle and you can connect with us and be a part of today's great program. Also, you can join us live and direct in YouTube, Facebook. You also can download our app. We have the app on the Android store. Our app is called MOGBEDE Radio Hub. You can download that and listen to any of our topical programs, and also you can join us for today's program. If you're looking to place an advert and sponsor any of our program as well, please dial the number on your screen, and one of our members will be happy to speak to you in the studio and talk you through our various programs and how you could be back. My name is Abiola Olaifa. I am your host for today, and today is a very, very interesting one because we are looking at democracy. As Nigeria is getting ready for another episode in its political chapter. Next year, February, we will be electing into power the president, governors, member of the House of Assembly, and several other positions. So now that the political atmosphere is beginning to kickstart, we want to talk about democracy. What is democracy to us? How does democracy come into play when it comes to the political atmosphere in Nigeria? I'm going to start today's program very quickly by inviting Chief. Chief has joined us today, and we are so glad. I am more than happy that I'm talking and having somebody of his caliber in this studio to educate us and also to enlighten us. So wherever you're joining us, please stay tuned. Do not change the dial. We are here to learn a lot from this, our elder statesman and our father figure in the house today. Thank you so much, Chief, for joining us. So that takes me very quickly to the very first question. I'm going to kickstart it with Chief. So, Chief Bode George, I would say quickly, sir, if you just tell us a little bit about yourself, because a lot of people are hooked up to this network all over the world, wanting to see you, wanting to hear from you. And as you introduce yourself, sir, can you also tell us what is democracy? I'm not sure if a lot of Nigerians understand what democracy is. What to you, sir, is democracy?
Thank you very much, Olaifa. Let me also thank your organization for giving me this opportunity to share my own thoughts with other Nigerians. It's always a pleasure for me to talk to our people because the whole essence of governance, the whole essence of democracy is talking and explaining your perspectives and your views on matters that affect our people. Well, I am retired Commodore Bode George. I was in the Navy. I had my primary education in Lagos. I went to secondary school in Ijebu-Ode, the premier grammar school in Ijebu-Ode in those days. Then I finally graduated almost 2 years now from the University of Lagos. I read electrical engineering. I started my working life with the old Niger Dams Authority in Kainji. And then later, I went and joined the Navy. And I was retrained as a weapons systems engineer for the Navy. And these are the driving forces behind my commitment to this country, because we were given this opportunity by that nation to be exposed to the tenets of governance all over. The training we had, I went to the best colleges in the military. And after the military, I was here in England when Baba Obasanjo was released. Because his late wife, Stella, and I were friends and age group, that was how I met Baba. And ever since, it's been from the military now to the civil life. Joined the party, the People's Democratic Party, and had a feel of what it is to manage people with diverse concepts of management, with diverse concepts of attitude. And because, see, the military, we have a defined, when you look at anybody's rank, you can tell, you can say confidentially and confidently that you expect certain behaviors from this kind of man wearing that rank. But in the civil life, you will see people with behavior ranging from 0 to infinity. So it's a different concept, but it's a learning curve, and I have learned a lot. Now, so this is where I am retired. I, played my own part too in the party, and I've told them that after this next set of election, I'll be bowing out from this routine of political practice. My great-granduncle was the first Nigerian politician in that country. And so it gave me a pleasure to be part of the democratic dispensation and democratic development in our nation. Now, let me go back to the question you asked. What is democracy? I want to take it from the definition given by the late American president, Abraham Lincoln. You remember America in itself, they were wobbling until they went to that civil war, and then after the war that the North won the war. And so it defined democracy as the government of the people. The government of the people. The government for the people. And the government by the people. So it means in any democratic dispensation, power must evolve from the people, from the masses. And they define that, okay, once you get there, what do you do with the power? You are asking us when you are campaigning that please trust me. I will go there to manage the resources of your land for your benefit. Now, the shenanigans that we have been playing in our country, I am so happy that for the first time we are joining the clubs of those who are in the new age of managing democratic processes. Nigeria too now, you see the election in Anambra, election in Ekiti, election in Osun, the INEC has come up with a new methodology of streaming results instantly to the collation data. And it is not like what we used to do, which was, we had been complaining about. That's why Nigeria is wobbling. If the people's wishes are not adhered to or respected, what you get is those who go there to service themselves, service their families, service their friends. And at the end of the day, they know when they go for this election, when people will decide, yes, this is the man we think to be able to handle our affairs, they will manipulate the system. And so we are moving. It's not a 100-meter dash race. And what we have done in the last few years, and compared to what happened since 1960 we got independent, there will be a new turn of events, because when you know that the votes of the people will count, you will always remember that you are there with a public trust to manage the resources of the people for their benefit and not yours. Because in 4 years when you come back, if you have not done well, they have the authority with that single vote to throw you out. And that's the essence of democracy. So when we look at all those shades of areas that we have been deceiving ourselves and lying to ourselves, once we start to clear those areas, clear the fields, then we are moving gradually to the civilized way of managing ourselves. So that's my concept. And you can see that the people's voice was heard in those the last three elections that were handled by my INEC. So gradually we are evolving. Gradually we are emerging. Take, for example, when I listen to some of our friends and telling me that, oh, there are 100 and something thousand people who are voting from the north. They have more votes in the north than in the south. We are trying to reinvent the wheel. How can you have more people in a decimated area, in a savannah region, versus areas where there are, where water is, vegetation? That's where many more people will live. And if you look at it from Las Palmas all the way to the Cameroon, it's only in Nigeria that we have an inverted pyramid when it comes to the population. So those are things that we need to add up so that we ourselves can come back to be at the level of civility.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. We want to say a big thank you for that wonderful contribution. I hope you can hear us. Thank you.
Very well.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that wonderful introduction on what democracy is, what we have in Nigeria. And so as we're doing that, that takes us to the next line, which is the next question for today. All right, so democracy, we know, as you've explained, has gone through different phases in Nigeria. And where we are today, and also in the process of starting another phase for the 2023 presidential election. We would like to know, sir, is democracy still alive in Nigeria? Is democracy still alive? Is it still kicking in Nigeria? And what sort of democracy are we practicing at the moment? We'd like you to enlighten us today, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, if you look at our nation, Nigeria, it's an artificial creation. So when you talk about nation building, there are certain tenets that must, add up. The tribal division, the religious division, the language itself. You know how many dialects that are there in our country? The different groups, the majority groups versus the minority groups, both in the north and in the south. So if you look at all those ones and put them on a table, you need to juggle them around with a view to managing and creating a democratic practice that will suit our nation. You know, when the British left, they brought us their own system of governance. It didn't work because, when you go to the British Parliament here, the British attitude is different from ours. You can see that their culture has been woven into it. You see the Prime Minister sitting across the aisle from the opposition leader, and when they start throwing tantrums, it is not an enemy kind of concept. They are expressing their views. They call themselves with all kinds of names and make jokes, and they all laugh and all that. But in an African context, it cannot work. You remember that traditionally, in every village, you have the KBS, right? And then you have the advisors from every quarter of that community. And so looks like a presidential system that can work. But that is now looking at it from one tribe to the other, or one group to the other. But we are still juggling. We have a very, very centralized system of governance. It is not working. It is not working. Because if you have a government that does not have a direct impact on the individuals or groups, then what are you doing? You know, culturally, we are different as we move from one point to the other. So let us design a system that will respect those divisions and also bring about a way by which we will, yes, we need to congregate as a nation, but where one is being like a slave and the other one is being like the occupier, it is not working. We are deceiving ourselves by thinking, oh, this is this better. And any progress that does not look at a change is dead on arrival. So we are deceiving ourselves. You know why I'm saying this? Because when we return back to the political dispensation, the civilian dispensation, I went back home. I joined the PDP at that inception. And you know what the founding fathers found out? They were members of the First Republic. They saw the shenanigans that happened, that collapsed the First Republic. And I quickly mention it. In the North, you have the majority tribes and the minority tribes. After every election, the majority tribe will have their way. They will have their way and have their say. And the minority tribes were just onlookers. The same thing in the South. Majority tribes will have their way and their say, and the minority tribes will just be onlookers. That was why they designed a concept, and it is not novel to Nigeria, because that is what is also practiced in Switzerland. They divided Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones. This was our party. It's not in our national constitution. The Northwest, the Northeast, the North Central for the North. So the minority and the majority tribes. In the South, the Southwest, Southeast, and South-South. Majority tribe versus minority tribe. And they now decided that there are 6 top positions in the country. The president, the vice president, the Senate president, the speaker, the secretary to the government, and the national chairman of the party. So 6 geopolitical zones, 6 top positions. So if the president goes to the north, the vice president comes to the south, the Senate president goes to the north, the speaker will come to the south, secretary to government to the north, national chairman to the south. That assisted the stability we enjoyed for almost 16 years as a party, as a government, because I called it turn by turn Nigeria Limited. We had practiced it, but it didn't mean, like I said, this thing is not a 100-meter dash race. We have seen that there are still some loopholes in this system. And people have come with all kinds of ideas. No, we should go at different ways. It's not going to work. It's not going to do. Nobody has the monopoly of power. If you keep deceiving yourself that you can only be governed by one tribe versus against the other, we will go into the doldrums of hell. And this is why you are now seeing the anger in the people. Because right now, some people are coming and saying, we don't need any zoning. We don't need all these 6 zones and all these ones. Let the majority of the people do. You're taking us back to where we departed from. And for me, until we sit down and face the real issues affecting us, honestly, justifiably, we are just wasting our time. And it pains me because I mean, I grew up in that system. I saw what it is. And I have been to many countries in the world, being trained, being exposed by my military training. So we must be fair to ourselves. We must be honest to ourselves. Where resources are dispersed without passion, dispersed with impunity, and the anger, the hunger in the land today, unbelievable. And we have to be very careful. I have seen issues now driving us to the precipice, and we can see now. Look, we're not reinventing the wheel. There was a constitutional conference in 2014. The civilian administration set up a constitutional review committee, and from the beginning to the end, we for the first time in the history of Nigeria, we concluded the report is there. We said it when General Buhari came. Take up that report. Let us look at that report. Let's review the way we are doing. There's nothing wrong in reviewing it. Progress derives its success from the fact that you accept there must be a change. That's the thing that is constant in life. But to say, go and keep it in the archives. Now we kept it in the archives. You can see that the ship of state is drifting very badly. And nobody knows. Okay, with the security of lives and properties not guaranteed now, who is going to go out there to go and campaign? And if you want to do election, when the environment itself is hostile, how? So what is going on with us? I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying my mind.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And I think we've learned quite a lot from your input today with regards to what is happening with democracy in Nigeria. And like you rightly said, we're not running it right. Democracy doesn't seem to be working at the moment.
No.
There seems to be a lot of issues in every corner you go to in Nigeria. And lately, I think the biggest challenge we're having is security. So
Absolutely.
if you're trying to campaign, if you're trying to talk about politics in Nigeria and democracy, it's a big problem. Once again, I'd like to welcome everybody. This is MogbedeRadioTv. Today, you're listening to Chief Body George. We're looking at democracy and its benefits. Chief has given us insight. He's been in politics for so many years. He's been a past governor. He's been in the military and he's done so many things in Nigeria in the past. So he's been looking at it with us today, discussing about democracy. So for those that are joining us, if you're looking at ways to join and be a part of this, you can do it on our website, which is www.radio.mogbede.co.uk. Once again, it's www.radio.mogbede.co.uk. We're also available live. You can watch us live on YouTube and Facebook. So our handle is MogbedeRadioTV. Please search for this and you can connect with us. You can also download our app, readily available on the Android store. The app is called MogBede Radio app. Download the app and you can connect with us and listen to any of our programs. So today we're looking at democracy and its benefit. In the studio, I've got quite a few guests who are part of today's program with me. And if you'd like to join in and be a part of this, please, if you're in the studio, raise your hand and I'll pick on you. And then you can discuss and we can also relate with Chief on this very important topic we're looking at. So to go to the next line now, we're going to look at the third question. Sending all the question directly to Chief now as we're trying to learn from him, from his years of experience when it comes to democracy. So what are the challenges of democracy in Nigeria? I know you've started on that part and you've given us a few challenges. What exactly is the problem? Why is democracy such a problem to practice in Nigeria? And what are these challenges that we need to be looking at? Chief, please.
Thank you. You know, once you define your goals, you define your methodologies, you define the areas of commitment, the areas of concern, and you can also define how you manage the resources of the land for the benefit of the people. I've told you, you have majority tribes and you have minority tribes, both in the north and in the south. Now, We had run a system where the majority carried all the things and the minorities were just onlookers, both north and south. And that was what brought about these 6 geopolitical zones being created by our founding fathers in the party, based on their experience in the First Republic. Now, the challenges we have now, first of all, because all resources are managed by the center, you understand, the impact of governance directly to the people in various states of the federation is zero. If you have governance and it's not close to your heart, you tell them, oh, in 4 years, we're having a national election, presidential election, and then everybody will run around, and then one fellow emerges, sits in Abuja, controlling the resources and the management of this country. It is not working, and it cannot work. We went and copied the American system. The American system doesn't work like that. The president in the United States has all his own functions, as well as the governors in each state. Because if government is not impactful on you as an individual, you drift to nothingness, you drift to anger. That is why we are facing this is what we are facing now in Nigeria. So how do we now get these various groups? Reduce the powers at the center, give more powers to the states. All right? We're talking about security of lives and properties. The most important job for any government is to protect its people and protect their properties, to guarantee lives for people, that you can move from location A to location B without any interruption. Now, if we fail to define that, if we fail to defend that, then what are we in government for? We have spoken severally about having state police. One, it will create employment for many, many people. Secondly, it will guarantee lives, security of lives and property. But to have a central police system, maybe 200,000, maybe the total population of the police in Nigeria, to a population of over 200 million people. Is that working? Can it work? So we need to be fair to ourselves. In America, you have local government police, you have the state police, and you have the FBI for the national. So what is wrong in our accepting it? These are recommendations that have already been put in the report of the review of that constitution. Till today, it's been kept in the archives. And we have seen the mess of this management from Sokoto to Calabar, from Borno to Lagos, from Kano to Delta. Nothing is working. Everybody lives in fear now. Whether you're a rich man or a poor man or whatever, nobody is safe. You hear all kinds of stories, you listen to this, and you keep wondering, what is going on? Where is that giant of Africa? Where is that our nation? So those challenges that are there, yes, we have challenges because we were artificially created. You know, the system of governance, when we were back in those days, we have a system of managing ourselves. Now they have collapsed that system. They have centralized everything. You wait every month to have the national cake being cut with certain criteria. Who says the criteria is okay? One cannot be John Bull when the other one is John Nothing. No, we must allow everybody to develop the resources within their country, their environment. And I can tell you, because I have snaked through this country, snaked through Nigeria from everywhere. There is no state in that country that God has not endowed with one resource or the other. So what's our problem? What is our problem? They're not being utilized. They are sitting down. Oh, crude oil, crude oil, crude oil. You can see now at the central point, which looks like a military organization, the way we are managing Nigeria now. Because unless the villa, unless the villa does anything, governors, local government chairmen, they are helpless. They are all waiting for what will be distributed at the end of the month. Now they have cocooned us in a direction where we have overborrowed and we must start to repay. So our income versus what is paid out, we are now paying back the debt which we have incurred, and those debts we have incurred have not given the necessary infrastructure that will now give us the tool to say, well, we have some returns on investment here and we can pay back. So what is this jumble sale? What is this jumble sale? You don't need to be a rocket scientist for you to know that not all this mess, these things are not working. You don't need to. You can see, you can feel it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful contribution and for tackling that number 3 for us and for looking at the challenges which we're currently going through when it comes to democracy in Nigeria. I want to say a big thank you, sir. So if you're listening in, we've been listening to Chief Bode George, a prominent elder statesman from Nigeria who's been tackling the issues with us. So in the studio too, today we have a lot of other guests with us. So we have Prince Folari Osunusi. Prince Folari has been raising his hand and he would like to say something in further to what Chief has said. So Prince, if you can hear me, you can unmute yourself and please contribute.
Thank you, Mr. Olaifa, and everybody in the studio. A big welcome and thank you to our political father, Chief Bode George. I thank him for his community services and his contribution to the growth of Nigeria, both in the military and civilian regime. Almighty God will be with him.
Amen.
A good health to complete what he had already started, sir. Long life, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, excuse, sir. Regarding to the third question, sir.
Yes.
You identified 2 of our major problems.
Yes.
Which is ethnicity and religion.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to add another 2.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Which is hero worshipping and lack of community services, sir. Excuse me, sir. I must be honest with you, sir. My own generation has actually started the problems we're facing in Nigeria, sir. Because I'm a man of 66 plus. Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. All what we benefited in Nigeria, instead of us to implement it, then we started on a flashy lives, right, where we introduced corruption in the civil service, in banking industry, in all industries, sir. But the blame actually come to you, our father. Instead of you to curb us, to put us in the right direction, we started working for you, giving you percentages of what we're getting. And that's what brought Nigeria to this state of level. Sir, what are you going to do, sir? Or what advice are you going to give for us to curb this? Because if this is not curbed by next year, that will still be Nigeria. Don't let me say it in the other way around, sir. What advice are you going to give, sir? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prince. Let me look at your comments, and I appreciate it. But, you know, these challenges that we are having, you said we allow your age group to be remaneuvered in a wrong direction. You know, once the system you are running and managing, if that system is not working, you know, there are checks and balances. First of all, the people you elect, how do you elect them? And I said, just in the last 3 elections, governorship elections, did we see a proper, civilized, modernized system of electoral process. You know, why the corruption was thriving was the fact that when you go now to the election something, at your polling booth, when you finish voting, you know what they do? They grab, you write them all, you count the results there, and they hand carry it, physically carrying it. While you go home, they carry the collation papers to the collation center. So many things happen between that, your polling station, and the collation center. So, but you can see now that we have modernized it. The data processing is out. It's instant transmission of the result. People will now know that those whom the people really want will go and manage. Because if you are campaigning, like I said, you tell the people that please vote for me. I will go there to represent you. I will go there to represent your interests so that I will join the others to manage the resources of your land for the benefit of the people. That has not been there. So corruption will rise because those who carry the papers by hand, they collect money here, they collect money there, they do all kinds of things, and we end up having useless, irresponsible managers of the resources of the land. It cannot go on like that. That is what has led to all this infraction and anger. If people know that every 4 years you have to go back to the people, if you have not performed, will they vote for you again? So that will be an internal dynamism that will change all this rottenness we are talking about. Look at the people here. Even if you look at the way they just threw the prime minister out, because they know for sure that all those laws that were made, he broke certain laws. He said he didn't break it. They had an investigation. They had an investigation also in the parliament. They were able to prove ABCD. ABCD. They said enough is enough. This man must go. So that there is no individualism in this game. There is no hero worshiping, like you rightly mentioned. The people's power should be the format, the basis for our development. And we are just starting that now. We've seen all the experiences of the past. We've seen all the shenanigans that has gone in our nation. But now, with this new perception, I am praying that there will be no story about, oh, there's no data to process, to transfer results. No. If you don't have a data, go and expand your computer now to have enough data to cover every question, every area, every sector, every state in our nation. Because we are in a dire strait. We are the precipice. Like you rightly said that we don't want to say it, but we will keep on praying. Because for me, we must keep on praying and be honest to ourselves. You know, what is religion? What has it got to do with managing the resources of the people? Yes, there must be morality in governance, but there is no religion that does not teach morals. There is no religion. You know, but there must be secularism. We must respect secularism. We are not a country that is defined by religion. No. In my family, for example, my older sister is a Muslim. She married a Muslim. I have a younger brother who also married a Muslim. Today, she's a Christian. Today, my sister is an Alaja. Am I going to throw her out? That's nothing to do with managing the needs of the people. People are people. So I believe that it is revisiting the system of governance, the system of managing the resources of our country, and the system of electing those who we will entrust with the management. Those are the key major areas. And until we get that right, we are just going to be whistling in the dark. And there will be no progress. We are just on the same spot, thinking we are moving, we are running. We are doing nothing. And it is not working. Some people are thinking, when we talk about restructuring What are you saying? You are saying, let us revisit the way we are being managed and the way we are managing our resources. Others are saying, throw it away. It doesn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? What do you mean it doesn't matter? If it doesn't matter, you know, we are all Nigerians. We have every stake in that nation. You know, you listen to this young lady who just who broke the world record. Are you not proud of that young lady? Look at the attitude of the government to her. So what will make you proud? When I was in service, when I didn't have, you know, you look forward, you are committed to your country because you know that there is a future there. There is hope. Right now is a state of helplessness and a state of hopelessness. This election, this shenanigram and this charade, I don't know how we are going to do it. Who is going to go out there now to campaign? And you will not be kidnapped.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. That's a wonderful contribution, sir. And as Prince rightly said, we have to get to a point where we begin to address this problem so that we can move forward. All right, this takes us to the very third question. And in the studio today, I do have Mr. Sheung from Ondo State. I'm sure Mr. Sheung wants to say something to Chief today. Mr. Sheung, what have you got to add to what we've been discussing?
I want to say, sir, it's a great honor and privilege, sir, to share the studios with Baba, somebody I respect so much. I think I was secondary school. And when we had the opportunity to, we were able to work with you indirectly. I was a young reporter. That one buying Alpha Motel, Uncle Fola, Olamiti, Fulu Olamiti, your special assistant on media. Franklin Akinwale Oshodi. I'm buying, and you always received us. And whatever little we were able to contribute, you appreciated, and we were happy that things were going on fine, even politically and in your personal life, sir. For me as a person, I am from Ekiti State. I am from Ikoro, the local government area.
Yes.
Then Nigbati won't create the state, and when it won't law, our and be Bilawangbe. My house is at Alagbaka, we create, develop, our extension, our policy. We know your contributions to everything that has happened in this state. And only one thing, to for me concern, sir.
Yes.
When you look at our people today, in terms of ethnicity and religion, which overshadow what democracy is supposed to be to our people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just spoke about Toby Amusan to break all record.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever asked whether he's a Muslim or he's a Christian.
No.
Nobody ever bothered whether his father was ever in Igbo land or wherever in the northern parts. But between me and you, sir, in Yoruba land, lately, because of the high rate of insecurity in our land, even though the elite, just like you said, are afraid to travel.
Yeah.
Now people are now apprehensive. But the reality of it, where I am going, sir, there is this your brother, Tinubu. Some people so much believe that Tinubu should be the person that will liberate us from the rainbow of insecurity. And sir, Daddy, if I have always listened to you, you have never believed that is the kind of person that people should trust. And some people always believe. Somebody was even saying this morning when I drove out. Only Tinubu, only Tinubu, Tinubu make Kenyoni. But this are coming to your personality as a person. For you as a person, it's not that you don't like him, but you don't share his ideas.
No.
What is your take on this? Where do you? What is the place of this? What I'm saying, sir?
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, Daddy.
Now, let me start from the issue of religion in state matters. There's what they call secularism. Secularism is the separation of religion from civic affairs and the state. In other words, you don't define your nationhood by religion, because, like I said, in my own family, for example, my immediate older sister, she's an Elijah today. She married a Muslim. I have a younger brother who married a Muslim, but today his wife is a pastor. So what has it got to do with the price of milk? You see, when people are looking for power and jostling for lies, for deceit, that is the direction they drive everybody to. Now, you remember what happened in war. Well, just one classical example. You heard of what happened in southern Zaria, in southern Kaduna, in different parts of Nigeria, where we have people who are mercilessly murdered. Are they not Nigerians? Are they not human beings? And you are, and Tinubu is so arrogant. I don't want to use something else. That it means he does not have a deep thought in his mind. That you now take religious matters and you now want to run on a Muslim ticket in Nigeria? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't augur well for stability, for effective control, because the situation now in Nigeria is so polarized because of this religious madness. And secularism is defined even in our own constitution. We don't define Nigeria as Christian or Muslim, or, you know, there are atheists, there are people who do what they feel like they do, as long as you are within the law. But to now translate that to be the national definition of our country, then the guy is not well. Now, you remember what they did when the other man was going to announce his running mate. He now sold some uniforms and called those people bishops, so that he at the launching, at the inaugural session, to say that yes, there are bishops also there who have accepted. What? Cheating. You don't succeed by cheating. Is that the kind of man we want to trust? Is that the kind of man that we can now entrust the resources of this country in his hand? I have no personal grudges against him, but his system of thinking, his personality calls to question. Who is this man? Even if you are from the worst of tribes, tell the truth. If we cannot tell the truth to power, how can we now entrust you with the management of the resources of our country? He's not a fit and proper person. What is his real name? Where does he come from? Which school did he attend? Who are his classmates? What degrees did you have? Tell us. And the way he managed my state, Lagos, calls to question. Who owns the Alpha Beta company? You live here. The internal revenue system here does not have a consultant to be collecting the taxes on behalf of government and cooling off with the money. Never. I've not heard that in any civilized country. I've been asking. He set up with Oshibajo and Co. They were all in the cabinet of Lagos State. They set up Alpha Beta Company. They are still collecting revenue of Lagos State on behalf of our internal revenue service. How much does it take from the coffers of the people? That's why education is zero. The younger generation, there is no future. It is a perpetual state of helplessness and a perpetual state of hopelessness. There's nothing in their mindset. There's nothing that they are looking forward to. And And you are now insulting us to say you want to go and manage the villa. The first step is to now have a Muslim ticket. So on such celebration at Christmas, what would he say? He will send his wife, because his wife is a Christian. Was he elected? Where is the balancing act? Where is the respectability for the views of the masses of this country? You think they don't matter? Of course, to him it doesn't matter, because it's the end justifies the means. Whatever he can grab and get, that he wants to now extrapolate and expand Lagos, his management style in Lagos to Nigeria. If that country goes through that route, I am sorry. I am sorry. We won't last 3 months before the nation will collapse. He doesn't have what it takes. Everything about him is a lie. I'm challenging him. Who owns the Alpha Beta company? He said since year 2000. We are now in year 2022. See how many years? The kind of money he has been collecting. Where is his workshop? He said he made money when I was in America. It means everybody, even those who are rocket scientists, they will make more money. He said that's where he made the money. Where was he? Well, how did he come to Lagos? Where was his? Too many lies. And it's a shame. You can even, if you look at their convention, the way he emerged, it's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. And this is a man, his first daughter is 61 years old. He claims he's 70 years old. You see another lie? So at the age of 9, you started procreating. How? To have a child at the age of 9? He must not be a human being. Now, come to Lagos. His daughter is the Geological General of Lagos. This is something traditional to our people. You grab that. All the signages, the adverts, the public adverts, billboards in Lagos State today, they are all controlled by his son. What is this? Is this guy well? I'm not saying it because of if he has not taken my wife, he has not taken my house, he has not done anything wrong for me. But because you are presenting yourself for public duty, you must be subjected to all kinds of x-rays so that people can then trust you. I've asked several questions. It's not a matter of hatred or fighting. No. Tell us who owns Alpha Beta. What kind of concept of operation is that? That you now, within the system, you created another organization to be collecting the taxes of people. In the meantime, after federal government debt portfolio, Lagos State is next. Who is going to pay? But there will be a day of reckoning. He will not get away with it because it is people's funds, people's properties, people's assets. It is not an individual thing, no matter how long. We have a saying in my part of Lagos. Because we are traditional commercial people. Everybody comes. We don't drive people in Lagos. You make your money, do it according to the wishes and relate to the people. Put some smile on their face. But the way he's going is so disgraceful. It is so disincenting. It is utter madness. And a party, a national party, presenting this fellow. I ask a question: who owns Alpha Beta Company? If he can do that in Lagos to get away with it, now you give him the resources of this country, what is he going to do? There will be triple Alpha Beta Company owned by him, his wife, and his children. No, sir. He cannot. And Nigerians should open up. Now, you had him after the election in Osun. He started to condemn this new methodology of the electoral process. He wants the old one where all those stolen money can be now given to the manipulators of the result. We can't continue like that. No. Let the will of the people be respected. Let their choice be respected. So if you know you want to serve, you come out. Sell yourself to the people. Don't tell them, don't ask me this question. If you don't want them to ask you the question, stay in your house. So that's my own thought.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. I think that's full of the bomb. Thank you very much, sir. I think we've learned a lot from that. And I hope people in power and parents too can make the right choices from what they think is the progress. And like you rightly said, we have to get to a point where we are thinking of the progress of Nigeria, not progress of individuals, not progress of the party, of ethnic region or any ethnic region of Nigeria, not religious, not tribes. We have to think about the progress of Nigeria. I think a lot of people have capitalized on Nigeria and have benefited selfishly themselves. But now is the time that we have to start thinking, what is going to do it for Nigeria? And that takes us to the next question, sir. How can democracy be put to good use towards the unification of Nigeria? We've talked about different divisions, but on this program, we are change makers. And what we try to do is to postulate and to give opinions on what we think should change. What to you, sir, is how can democracy be put to good use towards the unification of Nigeria? How can we have, I know we've had this issue of Muslim, Christian, Muslim, and all that, Hausa and Yoruba, Igbo and Yoruba and all that. How can we unify the country with democracy, sir?
Okay. Now, you know, this next question is very interesting. It's the most topical issue in Nigeria today. Now, like I said, we had, in the past, we had managed the resources through the majority tribes versus minority tribes, both in the north and the south. We created, our founding fathers came together, realized the mess in the direction the nation was driving. And that was what led to the Civil War, led to, you know, disagreement between tribe A and tribe B and all that. But let every tribe, that is why we said we must revisit this issue of the management style that had been adopted in Nigeria. We must, under every necessary opportunity, that restructuring will be the key word. And what do we mean by restructuring? We are not saying throw Nigeria into the sea. No. Revisit the way we manage ourselves. It was an artificial creation. Remember the Northern Protectorate, the Southern Protectorate. The British, because of what they wanted to gain economically from Northern Protectorate and the Southern Protectorate, and they looked at their books and found out that there were losses from the Northern Protectorate and gains from the Southern Protectorate. They merged up both protectorates, not minding the differences in the language, in the thoughts, in culture. They didn't care. Now, the chicken are now come home to roost. Look at them here. The United Kingdom. You know, there are 4 countries. You have the English, you have the Scots, you have the Welsh, and you have the Irish. 4 different countries. If you see, anytime there is like Olympics or international football, this and that, England plays differently from Scotland, and plays differently from Wales, plays differently from Northern Ireland. And now the Scots are now coming home after over 300 years of existence as United Kingdom. They are revisiting it and saying, look, we want to manage ourselves by ourselves. If they could be talking about that. So what is wrong in our asking that, no, here, let us revisit it, remodel it in a manner that everybody will be happy. What is wrong in that? Right now, it is concentrated in Abuja. How can you have a management style that is absolute autocratic dispensation? It is so militarized in its structure. It is only in the military you have, you know, a pyramid. One man as the chief, and all the advisors are there all the way to the bottom. You cannot manage human beings like that. The governance must be close to the people to be able to impact positively on them. So, unification, like I said, you know, I could redefine it as restructuring. Let us give powers to the people in their area so they can go and manage themselves. Whatever they will now contribute to the national coffers can be defined. In fact, it is already defined in the report of that constitutional conference. Let them take it up. Let President Buhari take it from the archives that he has thrown it into, revisit it. You know, remember the Senate was saying, oh, you have public hearing. You want to visit the Constitution. From that day till now, zero, nothing. They went around, wasted the money, did all kinds of nonsense. And up till now, we are still back on the saddle. Why can't we restructure? If we don't, it means we are postponing the evil day. It is not working. And if something is not working and you are not bold enough to say it, someday Armageddon will land. And we must continuously be praying that Armageddon will not land in Nigeria. It is already on its way. Let us be careful. The way we have mismanaged the resources of our people, the individualism that is not democracy. It is not democracy, and it doesn't make any sense. You know, if you have and another doesn't have, then you think there can be peace? No, no. That's the way we say it in Yoruba land. You can have and I don't have, and you think there will be peace in the land? No. Don't deceive yourselves. So, for me, the reunification, you know, how can democracy be put to good use? Yes, let us revisit the Constitution. Let us go and reorganize the way we manage ourselves. And that leads to the restructuring that we are talking about. Let it be the United States of Nigeria. Let the state now manage the resources of their own state for the benefit of their people. Not send everything to one center and now they decide on which criteria. That is too completely military. It is not democratic. It is autocratic. It is not democracy. And please, you know, I have served in the military. I know the way the organization works. I mean, the reason why it should work that way, there must be one commander on the field. But when it comes to politics, the needs of the people in Group A will be different from the needs of the people from Group B. And those representatives are fighting for themselves. So we come together and see how best you will satisfy the Group A and the Group B and the Group C. Not to say they can go to hell. You have the number. Which number? We got that number. No. No. Well,
thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. I think we've learned a lot from you today with regards to democracy and how democracy can begin to work in Nigeria, how Nigerians can begin to take benefit of democracy. All right, if you're just joining us, this is the perspective on MogbedeRadioTv. We've been looking at democracy and benefit, particularly in Nigeria. The benefit of democracy in Nigeria. And in the studio with me today is Chief Body Judge. I know he's a man with big stature. He's an elder statesman, past governor. He's been in the military, and we know him very well that he's good at voicing his opinion and to see how Nigerian can move forward. And we've had quite a lot from him today, and I've learned quite a lot as well as a person. He's a personality that we all want around us because he's full of wisdom, and we know that he needs to share that wisdom with us with the next generation so that we can begin to look inwards and see what we can do to build Nigeria into the nation we all want. So while that was going on, we have Mrs. Esther Sofela that's raising her hand. She's got a question for Baba, and I want that question to come through now. So Mrs. Esther Sofela, you can unmute and speak to Baba now.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Olaifa. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir. And thank you so much for joining us to come and share from the wealth of your wisdom and experience with us. From most things I've listened to about what you have discussed so far, it appears as if all the aspirants, there is no clean slate for any of them. All of them are corrupted. But unfortunately, these are the people that has come out and nomination for aspirants has closed. So we are looking on the dashboard of people who under normal circumstances should not actually come into the public to speak to us, either from any of the party that is there. None of them has been able to prove themselves to be worthy. But there are three things that I would like you to answer, sir. For one, when things have happened, people keep making references to the past that even you, when you were there, what did you do? When you left, did you reflect? What did you try to put in place to show that, right? While I'm there, I might not have done it well, but this is the way forward. This is what I'm putting back into the system to help us what you have done. And people keep looking at those to make reference to when they are either casting their vote for people or not. So I'd like to ask, sir, that when you were, I mean, variously, I knew when you were the governor, I knew when you were the, when you worked with President Obasanjo and so on and so forth. As much as everybody in post will have liked to do their best, when they are there, because you don't have eyes behind your head, there is so limited thing you can do and actually react to. But when you leave, you must have seen some things that, oh, if I know, I will have done this better. And this particular thing, okay, let me put this back into the system for everybody to see that, okay, in those areas that I didn't do well, this is what I've done. So, and people are looking at that to make reference. So in that area, how have you been able to contribute back into the society that, okay, I know all of us are not that perfect, but this is what we've done. That's one.
That is perfect.
Yes, sir. My second question to you is, on the dashboard, like I said, none of the aspirants that are there are actually worthy, but they've come forward. Most of them, most of the aspirants, I'm going to be pluralizing it because I don't want to single somebody out. Most of these aspirants, they've had the opportunity in the past to have worked for so-called the public. They've not done it well. Are they showing any sign of remorse? Are there things they are doing or they have done when they left their various offices to show that, given the opportunity, they will do it better? And my last question, sir, to you, as an elder statesman, as a politician, I'm happy you say you are going to retire from partisan politics finally after this dispensation, because you need your rest as well. Everybody knows that politics are supposed to be such that you will actually be begging the person to come forth if they truly understand what they are going into and if they truly understand that they really want to serve their country. Not this grabbing things right, left, and center because they think it's another money-making machine for them. So, for all you elders, statesmen in those parties, either PDP, APP, APC, or was so not, what are the control you are putting in place that even though we know you are a thief, you are a murderer, you are a dishonest person, but because there is nobody that came out to contest with you, we might still end up electing one of you. What are the control that you elder statesmen in each of those parties has put in place So let them know that if they misbehave, if they didn't do it well, these are the repercussions. And I'm happy you made an example to United Kingdom. What Boris Johnson did that pushed him out of number 10. If it is in Nigeria, in fact, if anybody, the person will be killed. How dare you talk? If you remember, all the so-called lie, okay, a party was organized. It wasn't even him that organized it. He lives in his office. His wife baked a birthday cake. People came out to have champagne. All because he didn't have his facts ready. He didn't think fast. He said, oh, I don't know about it. And later people discovered that he actually attended the party. So in Nigerian factor, there would have been a flimsy thing. Yet, this fetched him his premiership as the prime minister. So I do control like that you have put in place ready for them that don't feel comfortable that once you are elected for 4 years. If you get there, you didn't deliver all these promises, these are the consequences. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much, madam. Let me thank you for your incisive contribution.
Thank you, sir.
Let me start from the last observation you made.
Yes, sir.
If the system is defective, if the system is not well defined, everybody will start breaking the laws. We are talking now about, the system and the management of the system. Because he's a big man, he's a this, so he's above the law. In this country and in America and in the civilized world, let me tell you, nobody is above the law. Even as a president, maybe where you are there, you may be covered that they don't want to. But once you leave that office, you can be guillotined. So nobody should be above the law. So what is wrong with our system? If a man goes through the rottenness of the process, pays money for them to manipulate the results of his emergence, you think he will be loyal to the people? Because he will believe that it is not the power he has doesn't belong to these people, that he manipulated and paid to get the power. And he will do whatever he thinks he wants to do. So the system must be revisited. It is the rottenness in the system that is giving impetus to all these shenanigans to rear their heads. That's for the way we need to control. If we do not make sure that the process which INEC has started now, I have really congratulated the current chairman of INEC. Since Baba became president, Professor Iwu brought about this idea of electronic transfer of results. Our members in the National Assembly then shut it down. But I am happy the international community has waded in that Nigeria is too big a nation to be messed up. We must go through this modern system of doing your election and the process. The last 3 elections have been absolutely wonderful. No qualms. We are not ending up with judges now deciding who will be governor. No. The people's will. Those who will come tomorrow will also remember that, if I don't behave well, I will be voted out. And there's nothing you can do because they are pressing the button there at your polling unit. It is being transmitted electronically. So no human intervention anymore. Do you need to bribe the electronic transfer? No, you can't. So the will of the people will be respected. And as long as the will of the people will be respected, whoever gets that ticket and wins that election, he will realize that genuinely the people voted for me. Would I now go and be putting my friends, my wife, my children, my deeds in positions? They say, okay, you will come back in 4 years. But having said that, you also mentioned the candidates that there's no perfect human being anywhere. There's no perfect human being. But the basic tenets of democracy must be respected. Let the will of the people take over. Once you do that, Like I said about Tinubu, the question, I have nothing personal against him. If he didn't run my state, I would not even have bothered to know who the hell he is. But the way he managed the resources of my state, I said, who owns the Alpha Beta company? Till today, from 2000 to year 2022, they've been milking the state of billions of money every 30 days. And you are telling me you can't challenge him? So if he had gone home now, we will say, okay, take that. But now he is representing himself for public duty. And public duty means you must be ready to explain yourself. The hidden money, the open money, your management style, and he's still remotely controlling the resources of the state. Because governors, all those people that work with them there in the government are his appointees. They are not elected people. Supposedly they said they go through election, but if the elections are manipulated, does that mean they? But now that elections will be genuine, results will be genuine, you will see. And for me, if he didn't present himself, all these questions of where did you collect, where did you get this kind of money from? What are you doing with this? Why is your wife the Yoloja of Lagos? Why is your son the only one manipulating all the one? And your wife is the one supplying diesel to all the stations of Lagos? Come on. The people didn't elect you there to go and do that. And they call him the emperor. As if we are in an autocratic dispensation. No. No. And why wouldn't we ask him? Even in our party, we are saying that we don't have. Let all of them go and debate. Let them throw questions at them. Let the press ask them questions. Let the people ask them questions. Look at Sunak and Liz, this lady here. Right. Yeah. You look at the way they are taunting them, they are frightening them, they are asking questions, they are, that is the power belongs to the people. Not this gallivanting and thinking that you are bigger than any question. You want a public office? No. He's busy lying here, lying there. I have asked this simple question. Who owns the Alpha Beta? And the Lagos state government must publish the accounts of the government of Lagos from year 2000 to year 2022. There are collaborators, and I will mention because he had been. Oshibajo was the Attorney General of Lagos State, wasn't he? Who made the laws that they passed to bring about Alpha Beta. Wale Edu was the economic commissioner. This other fellow is what's his name? These were the people with Bola Tinubu, and that company is still collecting money. You remember the managing director wrote a petition to EFCC that they are owing him 45 billion. All that money is coming from the coffers of my state. Right now, we are number 2 to the federal government in debt portfolio. Who is going to pay it? Are these the kind of characters we are throwing up in Yoruba land? Where is the Omoluabi? Look at the way the shenanigram at their convention is graceful. I'm not saying we are perfect too in our party. We have a problem. There are challenges. And we are going to make sure that the people, before we have about 7 months now, we will make sure that whatever needs to be done within the party, we will do it appropriately. We also have problems. You can't have any human organization that will not have problems. But the way you can manage the problem will be a measure of your responsibility to the people.
Thank you very much, sir. That's a wonderful contribution there, and thank you for taking us through all of those. I appreciate you, sir. All right, so that takes us to the final part of our questions today. And I would like you, sir, to kindly look into it. We've looked at the problem. We know there are so many problems, but please advise ways to make democracy work. and sustainable for the progress of Nigeria. So we just want this as a snapshot of what you think we should begin to do. Because at this moment and at this time, and with the fact that election is around the corner, just a few months to go, what do we need to do to enshrine democracy and to make it work positively?
We must have a viable environment. Because if people are afraid, whether you are rich or poor, to go out from location A to location B, how can you guarantee that there will be a procedure that will be all-encompassing and will be encouraging to even foreign investors to come? You know? Now, that's number one issue. The issue of security of lives and property must be guaranteed. We have spoken severally about state police. Now in 7 months, they will be out of office. It's too late now. But that would be a measure to be taken. But how do you sustain that? It means those who are debating, those who are angling to become president of Nigeria must tell us, are they going to restructure? Because when I use the word restructure, it's an all-encompassing. Restructuring means how do you manage your resources? How do you impact positively on the minds of the people? How do you provide security for lives and properties of the people? That's all part of what we need to package. Let them come and debate it. Let them discuss it. And they will know that, you know, the not lying and carrying people and showing uniform for them and calling them bishops, lying about your name, lying about this and that. Come out and discuss and debate. We can see what is civility here in England. They are there now, talking to the people. And we are all listening and watching. We will know, because the decision will be yours. If you make a mistake now, you will learn the lesson in another 4 years. But for me, restructuring, which is all encompassed, meaning we must revisit the system of management of the resources of our country for the benefit of the people. That is, in a nutshell, that's what it means for us to have a sustainable progress in Nigeria. All those structures must be put in place. The structure we have now is very highly defective. It is too militarized. It's like a military government, and it's not working. We must devolve powers to the states so that the impact of the management will be positive to the people. Governors have a lot to do. Local government chairmen have a lot to do. But let the process that they will emerge on be clean, be clear, and be effective. I wish Nigeria the very best.
Thank you very much, sir. And just before you go, sir, I know that Mrs. Shofela asked a question that already we have the candidates. All the nomination has been done, all the selection has been done. Which party do you think we should go for next year, and which candidates?
You know, for me, yes, I am a foundation member of my party. And like I told you, we also have problems. Yes, you know, a candidate has emerged. We went through the convention, but there are other procedures that we must go through to give us that semblance of acceptability by the public. I told you about the way our founding fathers conceptualized the People's Democratic Party. And I am proud to say that that system, which they brought about, has stabilized democratic dispensation in Nigeria. They divided Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones. You can't see that in our constitution, the national constitution. No. But our working culture, our norm of ensuring the participation, positive contribution from all the tribes in Nigeria have been well defined. The way it is now, like I said, the president, vice president, senate president, speaker, secretary to government, and the national chairman of the party. 6 positions, 6 zones. So every zone will go home with 1. Right now, we have mismanipulated that system. The presidential candidate is saying that we should wait. When he wins the election, then the national chairman will go to the south. That's a joke. That is a joke. And we must resolve this before the general election. Because if they want us to remind our people about the oneness, the distribution of positions, to create not a mindless concept, but to create a balancing act, a trustworthy management where every zone will feel that they are part of the government, must be well defined. Right now, we are in some kind of a woozy atmosphere. It's not working, and it's not, well defined. Even the APC that said initially they don't believe in zoning. Look at what they have done now. Where is the national chairman of the party from? Is he not from the north? Adamu, Senator Adamu. Is he not from the north? The presidential candidate, where is he from? Is he not from the south? Come back to look at our own. The presidential candidate is from the north. The chairman of the party is also from the north. Come on. Something has to be done, and done very quickly if we want to make an impact. And there are still some other political parties, I won't mention their names, but let us listen to them. Let all our media people, including you people, call them to appear before you, to ask and answer questions like it's been done in civilized world. It's not through your wardrobe you get to the villa. No. No. Let us listen. Convince us. I've asked Bola Tinubu certain questions because, he had managed my state before. That's why I know his style of management. Now, who owns Alpha Beta Company? How much money has Alpha Beta Company derived from the treasury of Lagos State since the year 2000? This is 22 years ago, So those are questions he has to answer. For me to say, yes, I can trust him to go and manage the resources of Nigeria. No, sir. If he can't answer that, what is he coming up to do? And if I have challenged him, if he thinks that there is a civil something in law, let him sue me to court. This is the time he presented himself, and so we have the right to ask him. I wish us well. And all these
Thank
things.
You so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Party C. But all embracing, we must have a perspective. Like the your advert said, there must be a strong perspective. That
yes,
how can go well. Look at the young lady. Look at that young, and there are Nigerians in every endeavor of life. Experts who are Nigerians. The giant of Africa. Where are we now?
So thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, so we've been listening to Chief Bode George, and Chief has given us several insights on what he thinks about the democratic system in Nigeria, how we can improve on it, what we've done wrong, and what we need to be doing to restructure and to change the system in Nigeria for the peace and progress of all Nigerians. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful contribution. So for everyone that's trying to join us, this is The Perspective on MOGBEDE Radio TV. We are live on YouTube and Facebook Live. We're just in the process of rounding up the program today, or if you still like to join us, you can also go back and watch all what we've said today. It's available on YouTube and on Facebook Live. And there is MOGBEDE Radio TV. You can also listen in to us on our website. Our website is www.radio.mogbede.co.uk. You can also download our app, which is readily available on the Android store. Our app is called MOGBEDE Radio App. Once again, I welcome you to today's program. We are on the perspectives of MOGBEDE Radio TV, and we've been looking at democracy and the benefit and we've analyzed, we've talked a lot about the system in Nigeria, what is happening at the moment, what are we doing right, what are we doing wrong, and what's the way forward. So very quickly, I can see that Prince, I've seen your hand up. Prince, you can unmute. I think you want to add or speak to Chief. Prince, you can unmute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olaifa, for allowing me, and I thank our political father.
Prince, I think you're still me. All right, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, our father.
We can hear you, yes.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
If I might say, in the whole world, Nigeria, my country, is the only country that wastes human resources and natural resources.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which advice, sir, are you going to give us so that this can be eradicated, sir? Excuse me, sir. For example, if Nigerians are not in the NHS in this country, the NHS will collapse. And likewise in Canada, USA, all over the world. The best of the best are Nigerians. And my whole country is going down the drain. What advice, sir, are you going to do? And what are you going to do to implement that this does not happen again, sir? Thank you.
You know, let me thank you, Prince, because this is all we've been talking about. If the system is not well structured, we will be throwing the best of our people into the dustbin. Let the system be restructured. Let the system respect the goodness we have. And we have goodness in every sector, in every corner of our great nation. There is no endeavor of life that you will not find one Nigerian as an expert. I have been all over the world. I've been everywhere, done the military, done the civil life, seeing people, meeting people. And I am proud to be a Nigerian. But when we come now and you undermine ourselves, our system that we are running is not working. It's not working. It does not encourage people to give the best in them for the collective gain of our country. The system is rotting. The system is useless. And what is wrong? We must revisit it. We must restructure. Let's sit down and talk. The way, like I said, progress in life is a measure of how much you can change. We are fixated now. Nothing is working. You mentioned here in the United Kingdom, all over the world, you will see Nigerians, brilliant people, but when you come home, you are drowned. Why? It is because the system does not allow the best to emerge. You don't have to have stolen all the resources of the state before you can present yourself. And when you are presenting, we are asking you questions. Where did you get this money from? You said it is not our business. Whose business? We are leading gradually into anarchy. Look at the state of affairs now at home. Who is happy? Who is safe? Whether you are a rich man or poor man. Look at those people that were kidnapped on that train disaster. Kaduna to Abuja train. Some of them are still languishing in the bush. What is going on? I know this your social media thing sometimes adds all kinds of stories all over, but there can't be smoke without fire. So all I have said today, if you go back and look at them, these are issues that we can revisit, sit down, if we really love that country. In our local parlance, ìjọ kan kì í ṣe irú ìjọ, àjọ òde lè dùn, péyàn kan ò ní. The essence of life is to be able, when you get up, pull many people up. That's when you enjoy more the goodness of life that God gave us. Right now, it is so self-centered, so selfish, so senseless, so personalized. Why? My father was not a wealthy man. It is the system that trained us. Why can't we put something back? Like I told you, in 1922, my great-granduncle, Abad Macaulay, was the first Nigerian politician. He was in the selfless service of this country, that he returned from the North campaigning that we can get independence. These Oyibos are not better than us, you know? And he died when he came back because of flu. So we are continuing that line, and this democratic dispensation and building up of democratic practice is not a 100-meter dash race. It's a continuum, and we must follow that. To keep quiet is a disaster. So I wish you guys the very best of luck. And it is on this note, I want to also thank all the other people and the media and all these our friends. I wish you and the people the very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. You know, we know that it's a wonderful opportunity for us to have you with us in the studio. So there's another last question that I want to ask. So and this should help our presidential candidate. Sir, if you had to be the president of Nigeria, what three things would you be doing as the president? I'm hoping our presidential candidates are listening and they can take this on board.
Yeah. First of all, that report of the Constitutional Conference, I would immediately, if our party is in control of the Senate and the House of Representatives, we must send them within 1 month. The report had been written since 2014 and has been kept in the cooler. Bring it out. Let Nigerians the world over read them. They can add, subtract, but to sit down and pretend nothing has happened is a disservice to the memories of our founding fathers. That's one. Number two, the issue of security of lives and properties is so sacrosanct. It's so important. Whether you are, I know some Nigerians, the rich ones, who told me that, look, they are relocating to come and live in England. I said, you are living at your age? They are not young people. He said, you know, I'm afraid to get out of my house. I said, is it that bad? I am afraid to get out of my house. You know? So people have gotten to that precipice. Why? That's number two. Then number three, all the resources. I will make sure. So, you know, the issue of state police, national police, and all that, we will have to quickly get it back to revisit. And that is also part of the report of the Constitution we had, the conference of 2014. It's so encompassing. All these things that I'm discussing have been stated there. We will go back for debate, for this, for that, to adjust a little bit, and then get power back to the people. Dismantle the powerful center. It doesn't make sense. Every little thing goes to Abuja. Then Abuja will decide. How does Abuja know what is happening in my own little corner in Lagos Island? How? What has it got to do with it? You know, the local government chairman must be effective. The state government must be effective. Those are the governments that are closest to us, not Abuja. Let Abuja take care of all our foreign interests and the military, you know. But for direct impact, let the local government and the state government take full responsibility. If they cannot perform in 4 years, we vote them out. So that's what I would do. Like I said, it's not a 100-meter dash race, but these are very, very major key areas for us. And look at the debt portfolio of Nigeria today. Look at the debt portfolio of Nigeria today. What did we do with the money? when I think Obasanjo was there, when Baba Obasanjo was there, they wrote off all the debt. You know how much the debt we are owing now already in how many years? And how do we pay back? How do we pay back? We are spending more than 90% of our income to service debt. Is that a good management?
Whoa. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I think we've learned a lot, and I'm sure all the candidates are listening and Nigerians are listening. Yeah. So we all have a role to play. This is what democracy is all about, so that we all participate in governance. Our PVC is all we all need to get now and participate in the election next year. Don't let us leave it to them and say, well, there's nothing we can do. They've chosen themselves. Now we have the power to choose a set of people. A lot of insightful comment, insightful advice on how we need to progress as a country. And I want to say a big thank you to Prince Falani Oshinusi for joining in today. So Mrs. Adebimpe Adekunbi, I know you were not able to participate fully because you are busy somewhere else, but we thank you for joining. We thank Mr. Sheung from Ondo State in Nigeria. Mr. Sheung Adetola, thank you for coming in today as well. And to everyone that's joined us from all over the world listening in, we want to say a big thank you. And we hope you're able to make it again next week. We'll be sharing another very topical issues that borders around Nigeria, that borders around our people and the peace and progress of our nation. We believe that if we all come together as a community, if we keep developing and if we keep learning as Daddy has taught us today, and as he has shared several insightful options on what we need to do, we sure have the future in our hands, and the future is bright. So then let us give up. I know there's security problem now. The money is falling free fall. Yesterday, somebody sent a message and said, oh, £1 to 1 naira to naira is now 820 naira to £1. And it bothers me that we've sink so low. But we all have a role to play to begin to bring things back to the right perspectives. So this is why you're on the perspective today. And we hope to see you again next week on the program. Please stay tuned, listening to MogbedeRadioTv. For all those that missed or you joined a bit later, these are available live on Facebook and on YouTube. Please go to search for MogbedeRadioTv on both of these platforms, and you can watch again and listen to what we've shared today. So we hope to see you next week. We hope we all have a fantastic week, and we hope we all get ready for true democracy in Nigeria. Wish everyone the very best of luck, and I personally would like to say a special thank you to Chief for coming in and for joining us and for sharing your opinion about Nigeria. God bless you, sir. And the very best to everyone in the studio today. And goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Sir. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Bye,
Madam,
sir.
thank you. Thank you very much.
To go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. I want to know. Independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Every little thing that blame the government. We know every